Join the WQAM on-air staff at Smoke on the Water in Weston for Whiskey Stars and Cigars Wednesday, September 25th. It's presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. Enjoy fine whiskey, a good cigar, and sports talk with the WQAM on-air staff. And here's one for you. Guess who's going to be there? You guys want to know who's going to be there?
Yeah, I would love to know.
You guys want to know who's going to be there?
Yeah, I would know.
Michigan legend Duncan Robinson's going to be there.
Oh, Dunkyard Dog. Dunkyard Dog. Dunkyard Dog.
Wow.
You guys going to get together and be like, Wolverine stuff.
So we can get we're going to get Duncan Robinson tilted.
Hey, so but
I didn't go to Michigan though, J-Fig.
So by the way.
Well, I got to finish the read. Hold on.
Okay.
It's free to attend, but you guys need to RSVP at WQAM.com. It'll get you an invite and a complimentary cigar. You must be over 21, drink responsibly, coming out with the WQM on-air staff at Whiskey Stars and Cigars Wednesday, September 25th at Smoke on the Water in Weston. Presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall, official partner, the Main Man. There's nobody better to help you flip your biz and cash out big than the Main Man. Go online to themainman.com and sponsored by the injury law firm of Cohen and Judah, where a partner handles every single case. Visit cohenandjudah.com to see partner reviews. So there you go. Dunkyard Dog going to be at the Whiskey Stars event coming up next Wednesday.
Yes,
Got some fun things coming up next Wednesday.
You're excited? I'm excited. I want to see Dunkyard Dog. I know we're going to see him soon for media day. But like any opportunity. That's cool. That's big.
Yeah.
So before you get all carried away, I found an alternative box of Cider Boys.
Another flavor?
4 more flavors.
Oh, wow.
Blackberry or wild berry, mango, and some. Yeah.
What is wild berry?
I don't know. It's like blackberry.
But you just said they had blackberry.
No, I meant wild berry, not blackberry. Or blackberry. I don't know. It tastes, fruity.
I got you. All right.
Berry. So, yeah.
Wild berry is a combination of all of them.
Dade South's right where he says it's time for Marcos to answer for his crimes.
All right.
You ruined Tua. You ruined him.
It's not even our Tua.
You wanted him to run so bad. You want him to be mobile. You want him to be mobile. You want him to run into football.
Not my fault.
Look at me.
Bro.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Thanks for ruining the season.
All right, let me ask you a question, huh?
Thanks for ruining the season.
Didn't it feel good though?
No, it didn't.
Look when he ran.
No, it didn't.
For those moments. For those moments prior to him getting, wasn't it like? Wow.
All I thought about when he started before, and I'm talking about the moments because this all happens. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
In the moments where he is running, all I thought was greedy pig Marcos.
What? It was 4th and 2.
Greedy
Oh
pig
God.
Marcos gets his over. That's all I thought. And then, he ruined Tua. You ruined him.
No, it wasn't me. The running wasn't the problem. It was the stopping. I didn't know how to teach him how to stop too. Come on,
dude.
Everyone should know. Slide, dude. Slide.
Marcos.
How many cruises has he been on?
Marcos.
Yeah.
Let me just say this.
Yep.
A majority of the concussions I got in life on the football field were guys I didn't see.
Oh, he saw the guy, though.
No, you're making it. He could have been. I'm telling you, sometimes the guy catches up and you just try to go in protect mode, but you put your body in a worse position because you didn't have time to. It's football, dude. There's people flying all over the place.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't get your body in a position that warrants safety.
Yeah, but did you see him run though? He was like, phew, phew. And then when he scrambled for more yards, to buy time to get out of sacks, that's the Tua that I wanted. Him running headfirst into a wall is not
so mad at you.
But can I ask all of you guys this? What do we make of the quarterback play early on in the season?
I think it got ruined because he took the best quarterback in the league and you wanted him to run.
Oh, best corner is like
You ruined
he
him.
was having a swell game before
Oh,
that.
okay, he was having an off night. Everybody can have an
Oh.
off night, and
Speaking of
especially
answering for his
it seems
crimes,
that he doesn't do good on prime time. That seems to be a big
Oh.
issue. But before that,
can we just not do Thursday night football? Is that
actually,
possible?
I really wish we could not do Thursday night
Is
football. If we
that
could.
possible?
The only time I think he had a good Thursday night game was that game where Flores didn't even want to start him,
Yeah,
and then he came in off the bench and he beat Lamar Jackson.
Maybe that's the plan. Huh?
By the way,
Yeah.
some breaking Dolphins news.
All right.
Shout out to the chat.
Let's go.
The Miami Dolphins have signed quarterback.
Bobby Beathard.
No, not CJ Beathard.
Oh, Bobby.
Former
Yes.
Pro
What?
Bowl
Whoa.
quarterback
Okay. I'm excited.
Snoop Huntley.
What?
Is he going by Snoop now?
What?
Oh, Brett Huntley?
Lamar Huntley?
No, Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley.
This is
Yeah.
real
Is he going by Snoop now, though?
Lamar Huntley.
Why was it tweeted out Snoop?
Snoop Huntley.
Wow.
Tyler Huntley. Snoop Huntley.
Is he going by that now?
I don't know.
I guess that's Snoop
Sometimes people, change their names,
Huntley. Most recently. What the hell?
If you're Skylar Thompson, you must be thinking, man, they must really think I'm garbage.
No, you must be happy that they brought in someone so mobile like Tyler Huntley.
Good for you.
You know what? Here's what's amazing. Here's what's amazing.
What was his
A guy begging for mobile
Yeah.
that is about as mobile as a slug.
We want what we can't have, Leroy.
That's true.
40-yard dash for him, 4.5. Pretty good. Seems like this offense wants
I
something.
mean, he is a former Pro Bowl quarterback.
Okay,
Where was he?
Didn't he go to UCLA?
He went to Utah.
He went to Hollandale
Oh,
High.
I'm getting him mixed
He
up
is,
with another Huntley.
he is a Broward. Yeah, he went to Hollandale High.
I'm getting him mixed up with another Huntley.
Very, very interesting that we get another mobile quarterback.
So he's an intangible. The Huntley I'm thinking of, it was not.
What?
Well,
He's not intangible. No, the one we're talking about is not intangible.
Snoop Huntley,
Oh.
not an intangible.
No, but didn't they have a Huntley that went to UCLA?
I'm not going to rule out that in the history of UCLA there were no Huntleys, but I do not know of which one you were speaking of.
He's talking about Brett Huntley or Hundley.
Leroy
No.
pulling a UFC where they're calling Terrence Crawford Kendrick Lamar.
That was crazy.
They're about the same size.
Wow. Okay, so then we're going all in on Skyler then. Essentially, this signing means
says
we're not going for a vet.
Tua is in concussion protocol. Skylar Thompson is in line to start Sunday in Seattle. Is from Tom Pelissaro. Huntley now could be a factor in coming weeks as well. So Skylar Thompson's on like a 1 week audition, it seems like.
I mean, did you see
So then
him?
why not just get the veteran? Like, I don't understand why.
What do you
Because wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah. What are we doing?
You realize how much money quarterbacks are getting paid?
Oh, money.
No.
shmoney,
Hold on.
dude.
Let me explain.
Clearly, we give away money.
You understand how much quarterbacks get paid?
Yes.
What former starting quarterback that's older is just going to come in to be a backup?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Wow. Good answer. Good. But Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, he's back up for the Rams.
Yeah, he is a
Okay.
job. And apparently Tannehill's not like Tannehill's being he's not
He's being a diva.
No, he's literally not signing with anybody unless he gets to start the rest of the year. And
That's
the
being
Dolphins
a
don't
diva.
know. Yeah,
That's
the
being a
Dolphins.
diva.
The Dolphins
being-
don't.
Isn't
The
that
Dolphins
the
have-
epitome of being a diva?
I mean, it's being like he doesn't want. I get it. Like if you're him, you don't have to play. Like you're only gonna want
Right.
to play if you get a starting gig.
Right.
But
What the hell are we doing here, Tannehill? Come on.
I mean, but he's probably like Tua's probably gonna play again, dude.
Yeah, he is.
How
Like,
long?
listen, I
don't know. Probably a month. Like if we're gonna
here,
go back to the last time
I
he had a concussion
can't-
with his dad, it was a month.
I can't explain like the different variations of a concussion. Part of it is you can't, right? That's why you have to let it take its course and then you can determine, how bad it was or whatever. I just hate that we're in a place where it's not whether Tua is healthy or not, but it's how it looks. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where we are.
Looks very
So
bad,
huh?
it looks very bad. It looks arguably the worst ever, kind of thing. It's not, but as
It's
far as optics,
it's
primetime
football
television
though.
every single time.
Yeah, it's football though.
It's horrible. It's
Like
a
what
gladiator sport.
you can't deny the physicality of the sport.
Yeah, but
Sure.
I think everybody's point to it with it looking that bad is that it didn't seem like that physical a play.
Yeah.
You know, for it to
Right.
for his body to react the way that
So,
it did. Now,
well,
I'm not here to
here's the
say how
deal.
your body should react, but I'm just telling you that's the normal person watching, Leroy, a national
Right.
televised game.
Right. But, sometimes like you get hit and it's not your head, but more of your nerves. And I don't know whether it's all attached or whatever. But I've been hit before and had to like couldn't feel my arm for a couple of minutes, but I didn't have a concussion. Right. So I don't it's there's so many things behind it. That's why I say this. When he's cleared to play, he's cleared to play. If he's not cleared to play, he's not cleared to play. There are people that are far better at determining whether he is cleared to play or not. So instead of sitting here and watching TV when I've had concussions and still can't figure them out, right? And I'm really tired of hearing everybody else talk about what Tua should or shouldn't do without fully understanding the situation. Because I told a buddy of mine, they say, just retire and get the money. You don't get the money if you're retired and you're medically cleared. I say, but I tell you what, I've walked this earth for a while. Ain't nobody turning that money away. Stop acting like you would, oh, that's enough. I would stop lying. People know they go, well, if Dr. clear me, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get that money. Stop acting like you would, just, oh no, there's a bigger picture. Like, yeah. So stop. I'm not gonna tell Tua what he should or shouldn't do. It's his decision. But for people to just all of a sudden say what they would do in that situation, stop it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. The one thing that I would argue with you on that is we've already had this situation without him getting any of a big contract because he has gotten money from the contract,
right?
And
I got you.
And he could walk away set up for his life just fine. And they've already had the discussion, his family, the last time before he even had the contract, and this was a thing that he was considering, or there were people in his family who wanted him to consider walking away. So now that it is, and I don't think he's going to. I think the idea that he's going to play is pretty obvious. I know that Tua wants to play football, but they are in a better position to do it if he wanted to. I don't think it's just a money thing, to be honest with you. I think Tua just wants to play football.
Let's add the other aspect of this. There is no person that has been under a microscope more than Tua. For reasons we still can't explain. Right? The guy doesn't badmouth anybody, nothing. It's just been, he's a center of all conversations, even when he didn't have concussions, right? From an athlete's perspective, the one thing that you hope you can do in your career is go out the way you want to go out and go out on your own terms. And part of this also that's probably running through his mind is I got to show people that I can play this game and I can be successful at this. And that that eats at you constantly. And that's the part of where people talk about the money and all that stuff. Let's be clear. First things first, that man is one hell of a competitor.
Of course. And I mean, wasn't it recently that Chris Bosh, when he was at Goron's retirement, and he goes, sometimes you don't get a farewell.
Right.
Not everybody gets a farewell. And he also said that your career ending is like a death, especially when it's not on your terms. And you're 33, 34 years old at the peak of your powers and you feel fine, but doctors are telling you no.
Right. Exactly. So there's while we sit here and talk about the money and being set and all that, as an athlete, he's thinking about this totally different. He's thinking about, listen to all the crap he's had to hear about his career. All the people saying never should have gave him the money. It's not about the money. It's about his ability to play and show that he can do it, and then maybe get to a point where he can leave on his own terms.
Mhm.
That to an athlete is more than money. To being able to show you belong amongst all these elite football players. That's more about money. In fact, I turned down money because I knew that if I went out there and tried to play, I would look like a clown.
You should have payroll banded it though.
No, I couldn't let myself do it. Some guys can. I couldn't do it.
We'll take a break. Hour Tua.
It's hour Tua. It's hour Tua. It's hour Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tagovailoa. Not franchise quarterback. A forever Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you
You
guys.
think it's going to get you off the hook because it was your fault?
Oh, my fault.
Your fault, dude.
It wasn't my
It
fault.
was your fault. This is all your fault. It's been your fault that he got hurt. I'm
Oh,
so mad at
wait,
you.
dude.
Hour Two of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Let's get to our headlines, which are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. Choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Teos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Miami Dolphins have signed Tyler Huntley, quarterback, to the team. He was on the Ravens practice squad. He's basically spent his entire career with the Ravens outside of being in camp with the Browns this training camp, but he was currently on the Ravens practice squad. Does that mean he has to go to the active roster, Leroy, if they're signing him to their team?
I think you can sign practice squad to practice squad.
Okay. I was wondering if he had to go to, because if he went to the active roster one, then that means they're going to put Tua on IR, which they haven't officially done yet.
Do you think they are?
I don't know. That's why I was wondering if he had to go to the active roster,
Someone else has to suit up, right? I mean, we can't.
somebody else has to suit up. Yes,
Can't just go out there with one quarterback.
yeah, someone else has to suit up, but you have to decide whether or not you want Tua's roster, if they want somebody else in Tua's roster spot for the next 4 games, not 4 weeks, 4 games. So if that were to be the case, if they do end up putting him on IR, I believe that would take us up to the Cardinals game because there's a bye week in there. So let's say they do that. It's Seattle, Tennessee, New England, bye week, Indianapolis.
So the bye week doesn't count.
No. And that would make him, I guess, eligible to come back the 27th against Arizona at home. But Marcos and I were talking about this. It's not the biggest gauntlet in the world. Obviously,
Yeah,
nothing's going to be easy with not having your starting quarterback, but you're talking
No division games, right? I don't think
New England.
Oh, no.
New England.
Who's been pretty feisty.
Yeah, actually.
Pretty feisty. They did lose to Seattle yesterday, but
A lot of like in the games, like mishaps. Like it's almost like some of these teams forgot how football is played, right? Like when you got a couple of minutes left to go in the game, the one thing you never do is throw a pass, right? You want the clock to run. While all of a sudden we throwing these little short, incomplete passes, stopping the clock, guaranteeing that the other team gonna get the ball.
so yeah, I don't know, man. There was some weird games yesterday. Very strange. But anyway, so yeah, that's something to keep an eye on if the Dolphins do decide that they're going to put Tua out for the next 4 games. Which look, the last time this happened, he basically missed, and I'm talking like the last time this happened viciously like this on Thursday Night Football, he missed about a month.
Yeah.
He missed about a month, and then he had the one at the end of the season with Green Bay. But
he needs to wear his helmet inside his head. Because if it's the jarring of the brain,
mm-hmm.
we need to go ahead on and give him some more fluid.
And then, people also say, like, should he go with the Guardian cap too? Give him all the caps, whatever, everything, anything, whatever they can do.
And also, do you understand that putting the Guardian cap on doesn't matter?
Why?
Because it's the jarring of your brain in your head.
Can't
so
hurt.
Whether you hit something hard or soft, if the brain juggles in your head, that's what caused the concussion.
Give him every kind of cap there is to give him. I don't care if he needs it or not. Give him the cap. Give him one of those cowboy collars that Zach Thomas used to wear. Give him one of those.
I tried those. I tried one of those for a year.
Give him whatever it takes, and then also never run again. Never.
His over under is going to be +0.5.
Easy money, baby.
In fact, I think if he runs,
he should be tased.
He should be fined.
Penalized.
No, I want Mike McDaniel to come out and fine him $1,000 for every yard he runs.
No, you know why you can't do that? Because if it's 3rd and 5 at the end of a football game and he have 10 yards he can get, you got to play football, man.
You gotta play football, Leroy. You gotta play football. Well, how about we paid $160 million for a statue? That's expensive.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's exactly what I wanted. I told you all off season. It was the dumbest thing ever for him to get nimble or mobile. And by the way, a lot of good it did. You really saw him go off the cuff anyway with his throws, Marcos. The only thing that it did was give him a false sense of security, and he still got hurt. And it's your fault.
No, that you never saw that one play that he did where he extended it for 3 seconds.
The play in preseason where he went up against a grocery bagger in the backfield.
That was good. Sorry, bringing me back flashbacks.
You bastard.
Nimble on his toes. Clearly, the offense calls for that. Skylar Thompson's going to be rolling out. We got Snoop Huntley, mobile, 4.5. I don't know if you did that.
What?
Yeah, it's in his 40.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't 10 years ago. But
what year was it for him?
Year 4.
Look at that. Inflation. So really he runs a 4.4.
He made a Pro Bowl in his first 4 years of the league, and now he's
Leroy. He's one of the most notorious Pro Bowler, like ridiculous. Remember, it was a flag football game. He had more picks than interceptions that year.
Yeah.
Well,
and he basically that was the game.
Those are the same thing.
I'm sorry, he had more touchdowns. He had in that season. This was his Pro Bowl season. Okay, 2-2.
Yeah.
He threw for 658 yards.
Ooh.
He threw for 2 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Oof.
He only played 4 games?
Yeah, there was a game. It's when Lamar got hurt. That's like who he went into.
So check this out. Here's the crazy thing.
Must have literally ran out of everyone.
Yeah. It literally ran out of everybody. I don't know, man. Like there's certain things that I think we put ourselves in that we probably shouldn't. And all I hope for is Tua's well-being. And I hope he has the people around him to be able to make a solid choice moving forward. And then we just respect his choice, right? For people that have never kind of experienced it or gone through it or have, or understand not the money part of it, but the competitive part of it, right? I think they're being a little bit unfair. And to see guys on TV, I think, who's it? Teddy from the Patriots.
Bruschi.
Teddy Bruschi said it perfectly. He said he had to have a stent put in his heart or something put in his heart because he had a stroke when he was 31 years old.
Yep.
And he said he asked all the questions. Hey, so if I get hit really hard, is this thing gonna move? And they basically said, hard to say.
Yeah.
And he still went out and
Doctors
played.
always want to leave themselves wiggle room.
Right, that's it. Which you can't get an honest answer because everybody's so scared of getting sued that you end up making decisions based on your medical history and not on your medical knowledge.
Right.
And that's unfortunate. Nobody wants to, and so the same thing's going to be this way for Tua. Right? So I hope that he gets the right advice. He gets the right like the doctors around him, let him know when he's healthy and when he can go and not worry about how it looks or it is. You are or you aren't. As simple as that. And then he can make his own decision. But for us to I kind of understand the part, not the money part, but I understand the part of everybody's been in his ear and on his back his whole career. And he finally gets a chance to show everybody what he can and can't do. And he doesn't want it to end with people saying, see, I told you. Just those words, which is everybody, like, you know how many texts I got? Knew he wasn't the guy because he got hurt. For this young man, for Tua, he is the only person that I've ever seen lead a sport in a category and people still treat him like he's Daniel Jones. Right? So,
yeah, I mean, like, look, I've been a Tua backer his entire career. I've always been a Tua fan, but I do think that one of the reasons I thought it was stupid that Frog Boy wanted him to run was you knew this was an element of his.
He's not a big dude. He's not a big dude.
He's
so
not a big guy.
Can he slide? I haven't seen.
You know what? You know what? Here, Marcos. Can I just tell you? I've told you 1,000 times.
Right in the face.
Most of my concussions came from people I didn't see.
Yeah.
So for you to think, okay,
I agree.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of open your eyes.
No, but
they fast too. They big and fast.
But this is, I think, the thing that was jarring about this with his last ones. It was always the same way. It was always he was getting thrown onto the back of his head.
Can't do nothing about that.
And he took the precautions of learning how to fall and to try and improve that. And it seemed like it really, really worked.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's jarring about this is everybody has said, like, this was not a violent play.
Well,
this was not a violent play. And he had and his body had a very violent reaction to a play that did not seem that violent. And so what everybody I think looks at with him is like, you really do feel, Leroy, like it could be on any play for him. Because remember the last time that this happened, his season ended the next day at practice or the next day in film because they didn't know. And he's like, I couldn't remember what that play was.
Right.
So, yeah, I do think, like, I get people who say it's his decision, and I'm for you. I get it. It's his decision. I'm not going to knock him if he continues to play because I think he's going to continue to play. But I also have a little bit of a hard time people saying, hey, nobody's allowed to have a take on this, that they're a little worried about watching him play football.
No, but that's not what the take is.
No, people have that take. They do. If you're adding on to this being the reason why he's not the guy, okay, if you had durability questions about him, he's had durability issues. He's had durability issues.
So have half the quarterbacks in the league.
That's fine. But I'm just saying, like, there's nobody. You're really going to watch him this year? You're not going to have any issues? Or you're not going to have any worries watching him?
Here's what I would say. This is the honest truth. See, because I can be honest about it. Like, keep in mind, I got stretchered and took to a hospital because I hit somebody that was 145 pounds because I turned my head the same way Tua did. Same exact thing, except I ended up on a stretcher in the hospital. Mm-hmm. So I understand what happened. Okay? But here's the deal. I am always going to watch Tua and always look and say, is he protecting himself? Did that hit do this or did that hit do that? It's human nature, right? I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about all the other stuff about people saying what Tua should or shouldn't do. That's the part I have a problem with. You turn on TV Nobody's talking about, I hope he's okay or whatever. Oh, this is what I would do. Right? You see what I'm saying? So knowing that every one of those players at some point during their career had to make that decision. Is it worth me coming back?
Mm-hmm.
And every one of them will tell you, I didn't want to go out like that.
Okay, but not all of them did, though. Andrew Luck didn't. Luke Kuechly didn't. Not all of them did.
But Andrew Luck decided not to come back.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, not everybody. But not everybody has the take. I keep wanting to put myself on the line.
Right, I understand that. Again, I'm not telling Tua what to do. I'm not suggesting what he should do. So I'm never going to have that take with Tua. I only had that take with me, and I've heard people say that. Right? It was the same. Remember Charles Barkley limping through a half with San Antonio? His whole thing was, I didn't want to not, right? He could barely run.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just the mentality of some people. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if Tua feels that way or not. All I want him to do is be healthy, and I want for him to make a decision. And I can live with any decision he makes because I respect him as a man. But for all these people out here saying what he should or what I would do, and no, that's not for us to decide. And so, and I'm not gonna lie, the next time he plays, if I see 30 yards in front of him, I'm gonna just start be yelling Cam Ward. Cam Ward run over to the sideline as soon as somebody get close.
He does.
Step out.
Leroy. That is a good point.
Yeah. You mean against Ball State?
Oh, well. Yeah.
Right. No. Yeah. That's also Ball State. He ain't playing against Georgia.
The Gators. Remember that, though? Ooh, SEC.
Oh, yeah. They've been off to a tremendous start this year. The Gators and FSU are bringing shame to the state.
They're not SEC, dude. Pick another initial to put on the end of that.
Yeah, BUM.
What if he plays one more year? What if he's like, hey, I'm just going to ride out the rest of this year? Super Bowl or bust?
Who, Tua?
Tua, yeah.
Whatever. Again, and then at the end of the year, if he says, I've thought about it and, I don't want to put myself through this. I got a family or whatever. I would understand. Again, I'm not going to say what he should and shouldn't do. I'm just like looking around and hearing people telling everybody what they should or shouldn't do, knowing damn well, dude, if you had a chance to get that money, you would get that money. You try whatever you can to get that money. So I'm not.
Yeah, but this is again, like this was a question before he even got the money. Like this was a question before he even got a big signing bonus. Like,
he didn't come back for the money. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, like the whole.
You can't say
I don't know.
You can't say he didn't do it then and say he won't do it now.
I think that there's probably a level and a spectrum of what people will go for and what they want to put themselves through. Look, I don't know what that is. I'm not inside of his head. I think, yes, I'm not saying he's doing it all for the money,
right?
But it would be silly to think that being at a point where you were a couple of years ago to where you are now isn't different and doesn't give you more pause, and especially with having two young babies.
Yes, again, to take all of his outlying circumstances and make them a part of it is probably only natural. But you have to understand, man, I've seen guys go on the field and try to play with some unbelievable stuff that people would just not, I had a finger folded over on the top of my hand, and I took some tape from Steve and taped it up and kept going in that series. I didn't think anything was wrong with it, right? And so, like, I'm trying to explain to you the mentality of a competitor and how you spend most of your career trying to prove naysayers wrong. My own perfect example, when Cleveland or Baltimore shipped me out for Bam Morris, my next 4 injuries, all I kept thinking about was, is Bam still playing? It didn't have nothing to do with how much I was hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't about the money. It was about the fact that somebody called me a failure by sending me somewhere else. And sometimes that mentality takes over that it never.
Sure. I think if you were to end his career today, there would be a lot of those. Like,
he'd be miserable.
I think that's
He'd
definitely
be
part of it.
miserable unless somebody told him he could not play. You understand? Now
Mhm.
that's the difference. If medically they come in and say, Tua, you cannot play anymore. That's a totally different situation than him just deciding I can't do it, because as a football player, it makes you look soft.
Mhm.
It makes you look like you got no fight. It makes, even if that's not the case, I would not pass judgment on Tua, whatever he decided to do.